In this outcome, we sort artificial intelligence into different types and see where it's actually being put to work. We'll separate what AI can genuinely do today from the science fiction version and then tour the industries it's quietly transforming. A handy way to make sense of AI is to ask how broad its ability is compared with a person. That gives us three categories, which you'll see written as ANI, AGI, and ASI, standing for narrow, general, and superintelligence. They differ in what they can do, how well they do it, and whether they even exist yet. Getting these straight is the quickest way to tell genuine progress apart from hype. This pyramid captures the pecking order nicely. Narrow AI sits at the base because it's all around us today. General AI is a research goal higher up, and superintelligence perches right at the top as something still purely theoretical. Let's define the three properly. Narrow AI, sometimes called weak AI, does one specific job, and remarkably, that covers every AI system in use today. General AI, or strong AI, would match a human across any task, but we haven't built it. And superintelligence would outstrip the very best human minds in every field, which for now lives firmly in the realm of theory. Let's zoom in on narrow AI, because it's the only kind that actually exists. It's designed and trained for a single task, and can't carry that skill across to anything else, though within its lane it can easily match or beat a human. A chess engine, a spam filter, face recognition, your sat-nav, a Netflix recommendation, these are all narrow AI. And here's the crucial point. Even ChatGPT, impressive as it is narrow AI. Narrow doesn't mean feeble, it means specialized. General AI is the next rung up, and it's a much taller order. It would reason, learn, plan, and adapt across the full sweep of human tasks. And crucially, it could pick up a completely new skill without being retrained from scratch, much as you can. It doesn't exist yet, and experts argue fiercely about whether or when it ever will. If it did arrive, it would raise enormous economic, social, and safety questions. Beyond that lies superintelligence, and now we're firmly in speculative territory. This would be an AI that surpasses the best humans in every field, including creativity and social skill. It's entirely theoretical, more a topic for long-term debate than for today's engineers. Thinkers like Nick Bostrom argue it could bring huge benefits, but also serious risks worth planning for now. For this unit, just treat it as a future possibility, not a present technology. Putting the three side by side makes the differences pop. Narrow AI handles one task, exists today, but can't learn new skills, with a spam filter as the classic example. General AI would handle any human task and learn new skills, but hasn't been built. And superintelligence would go beyond humans entirely and stays purely theoretical. If you remember nothing else, remember that everything real today sits in that first column. You bump into narrow AI dozens of times a day without giving it a second thought. Netflix and YouTube suggest what to watch next. From your viewing history, your phone unlocks by recognizing your face, and Google Maps predicts the traffic and reroutes you around a jam. Each of these is a narrow system, brilliant at its one job. But not one of them understands a thing beyond the single task it was trained for. Let's start our industry tour with healthcare and finance, two fields where AI is already earning its place. In hospitals, it helps analyze scans to spot tumors earlier, predicts which patients are most at risk, and even powers DeepMind's AlphaFold, which works out protein structures for drug research. In banking, AI hunts for fraud by flagging transactions that look out of character, helps decide who gets a loan, and drives the chatbots that answer your queries at midnight. In both, it's sifting huge volumes of data far faster than any team could by hand. Retail and manufacturing lean on AI just as heavily, When Amazon nudges you towards a product, forecasts demand, or shifts a price up and down with the market, that's AI at work behind the scenes. On the factory floor, it shines in a slightly different way, predicting when a machine is about to fail so it can be fixed before it breaks, using cameras to catch faulty products on the line and smoothing out supply chains. The common thread is spotting patterns in data that a human would struggle to see. Transport and education are being reshaped too. On the roads, driver assist systems like Tesla's autopilot, smarter route planning, and predictive maintenance for trains and aircraft all rely on AI. In the classroom, adaptive learning platforms adjust to each student's pace, marking and feedback can be automated, and intelligent tutoring systems offer help around the clock. In both cases, the goal is the same: to tailor things to the individual and take the drudgery out of routine work. Even entertainment and farming are in on it. The recommendation engines behind Netflix and Spotify decide what you might enjoy next, while AI now helps generate art, music, and lifelike visual effects, even de-aging actors on screen. Out in the fields, drones and sensors keep an eye on crop health. Precision farming targets water and fertilizer exactly where they're needed, and robots handle weeding and harvesting. It's a reminder that AI isn't confined to offices and screens. It's out in the soil too. If we gather all that into one view, a clear pattern emerges. Healthcare uses image analysis for earlier detection, finance uses fraud spotting to cut losses, retail uses recommendations to lift sales, and manufacturing uses predictive maintenance to reduce downtime. Transport gains safety and efficiency, and agriculture gets higher yields from precision farming. The same underlying idea everywhere, learning from data, but the payoff is tailored to each industry. Let's look more closely at one healthcare example: AI supporting radiologists in reading medical scans, including in the NHS. A deep learning model is trained on thousands of labeled images showing both healthy and diseased tissue, and it learns to flag suspicious areas on new scans for a clinician to check. That can speed up diagnosis and catch something like cancer earlier when it's more treatable. But notice the wording. The AI supports the human expert, it doesn't replace them, and a person always makes the final call. Here's a retail example you've almost certainly experienced: Amazon's customers who bought this also bought suggestions. The system learns from the browsing and buying habits of millions of shoppers, then predicts what you're most likely to want next. A large slice of Amazon's sales is thought to come from these nudges, which is why you see them everywhere. And the very same trick powers the suggestions on Netflix and Spotify, quietly shaping what you watch and listen to. Coming back to our three types, it's worth seeing them through three linked lenses. Functionality is what the AI can actually do, whether one task or many. Capability is how well it performs against a human, and potential future is whether and when it might be achieved. Narrow AI scores high on functionality but stays narrow, general AI would be broadly capable, and superintelligence would exceed us entirely while remaining a future possibility. Those three ideas keep the distinctions clear in your mind. So will general AI ever actually arrive? Optimists point to the rapid strides in large models as steps along the way, while skeptics counter that today's systems have no real understanding and fall apart the moment they leave their training. Predictions for when or whether it happens range from a decade away to never, with no consensus in sight. For now, the safe conclusion is that all working AI is narrow, and any talk of genuine thinking machines deserves a healthy dose of caution. Being able to sort the hype from the reality is a real skill. Across all these industries, AI brings genuine strengths: speed, scale, consistency, and a knack for spotting patterns people miss. But it has real limits too. It's hungry for large, good quality data, it can be expensive, and it can fail in surprising ways. That's why AI tends to work best alongside human judgment rather than replacing it outright, especially somewhere high stakes like healthcare. It's now a general-purpose technology useful almost everywhere, but its value hinges on good data and careful oversight. Let's recap what we've covered. We can classify AI by capability into narrow, general, and superintelligence, and every system in use today is narrow, specialized to a single task, while general and superintelligence don't yet exist. General AI would match humans across all tasks, and superintelligence would exceed them, but it stays theoretical. We saw AI hard at work across healthcare, finance, retail, manufacturing, transport, education, entertainment, and agriculture. And throughout, the message was the same: AI delivers speed, scale, and pattern spotting, but needs good data and human oversight to be used well. That wraps up our look at the types and uses of AI, from the narrow systems you use daily to the general and super intelligent ones that remain on the horizon. To take this further, the reading points you towards Melanie Mitchell and Margaret Bowden for accessible overviews, Nick Bostrom on superintelligence, and Eric Topol's Deep Medicine for AI in healthcare. There are practical case studies too, like AlphaFold and the NHS imaging work, plus guidance from the BCS and the government on regulation. Have a browse through a couple before the assignment, as real examples will make your writing far more convincing.